Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Backseat Drawing. I'm Eric.
And I'm Josh.
Today we're drawing Mimikyu, Pikachu, and Drifloon.
And we're doing it because it's the 25th Pokemon anniversary. I have actually played every single generation of Pokemon from Blue was the first one that I had, all the way through Sword Shield. I wanted to ask our audience here, what is your first experience with Pokemon?
I actually didn't play the game until X and Y, so I was really late into it. I actually played the card game for a while.
The card game, the one that's like basically Magic, but for babies.
It was because I was playing Magic. It seemed cool, like everybody was doing it, so why shouldn't I?
That's how most teenage decisions go, yeah.
Did like the anime. I watched a Pokemon movie, cried in the theater.
I also did that. Reading about some of our audience's first experience with Pokemon, we've got a lot of people that started really early with us. A lot of Red as their first game. I mean, Blue is the better game because it had Blastoise on it, and Blastoise is superior to Charizard because water beats fire.
Let us know in the comments if you agree with that statement.
Hey, let's talk about your drawing. You've got a Pikachu in a Mimikyu costume.
I understand the irony of having Pikachu wearing the costume of a Pokemon that's wearing a costume of it.
So you do understand that irony. It's a Pikachu inside of the same thing that the Mimikyu is wearing. So that just means the Mimikyu is in the same costume. Like,
is it possible that it stole the costume and there's no Mimikyu present?
But it has the arms.
Oh no, I just realized that's what I did. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I did not realize that putting the arms in would imply that it's still there.
When we talked about this earlier, that's what I thought you were going for. And I'm like, well, okay.
I wanted it to just look like it was dressing as a Mimikyu and not imply there was a Mimikyu there. Should I make the little eyes on the front of the costume worried?
Well, that just further implies that there's something in there.
I know. Now I'm doubling down.
Okay. We've got a lot of people talking about the best starters from the various generations, and nobody has said Cyndaquil is the best starter, which disappoints me.
So in X and Y, I picked Fennekin, but I remember you not liking Fennekin because of the ear hair.
It's fine in the initial evolution, but then when it anthropomorphizes, it's too much. It's where the hair is supposed to go, but it's in its ears. Eric, if it were anywhere else, that would be one of the coolest designs, like in any of the Pokemon.
I like it more because it bothers you.
Okay. So this Pikachu is wearing a costume, which makes me think of Halloween. How essential do you think a costume is for Halloween?
I don't think it's absolutely essential. I think you can definitely celebrate uncostumed.
If you're at home doing nothing for Halloween, do you still put on, like, I don't know, kitty ears or a wizard hat?
Like that those are your go-to costumes.
What's a costume that you would wear at home?
A blanket.
A blanket?
And
good.
A white claw.
And a white claw.
I'll wear a costume if I'm going out to a party, but at home I maybe might wear a costume, just hang around for the day in it. If we were in a better year for it, I think I would go all out again. Holidays of the upcoming years, I'm gonna triple down on them. So I'm gonna wear 3 costumes. I'm gonna wear a Pikachu, Mimikyu, Drifloon costume.
And all of them are actually wearing you as a costume.
Yes, I am the costume.
I do like costumes. I just don't really put that much effort into it. I'll make costumes out of the things I already have. One year, I did just wear a Steven Universe shirt and blue shorts and sandals, and that's my Steven Universe costume. Great, good job. Nice work, Josh. You went to Halloween party and didn't look like a fool. The next year, Eric, I didn't make a new costume, so I just put a suit jacket on over it. And then I was undercover Steven, so I could pull off the suit jacket. I was like, hey, actually, I'm a Steven Universe.
The Jesus of Halloween does not accept your low budget, low effort costume.
A Halloweegus.
Is it like a Waluigi? Like Jesus is Waluigi?
Mario has Wario. Luigi has Waluigi. Jesus has Halloweegus. In our audience, what is your favorite costume that you've ever worn? And I want to ask you the same question, Eric.
I made a Hiccup costume from How to Train Your Dragon, but I wasn't really the focal point of it. Rather, the giant toothless plush that I had someone make for me was, so that it could distract from my very low effort costume.
Now, hold on a second. Was this a Halloween costume or a cosplay?
Oh, it was cosplay.
That's another question I have. Do Halloween costumes count as cosplay?
It's like kids' first cosplay is basically Halloween costumes.
I guess. I mean, maybe.
What's the difference between a costume, cosplay, and fursuiting?
It's a costume if your intention is to go out on Halloween and put people in tombs, because that's what you do in Halloween, right? And as a cosplay if you want to go play. Am I being extra dark? Is it because it's a Mimikyu?
Yeah, it's affecting your ability to have a serious conversation about this.
So we're working on Drifloon now.
Yep.
Drifloon is a really weird Pokemon. It tugs on the hands of children to steal them away. However, it gets pulled around instead. It's really bizarre. It's based on this older Japanese myth of this balloon that's supposed to be like a reaper or something for kids, like guiding kids to the next world or something like that.
Oh, so it's not supposed to be terrifying.
Well, it is supposed to be terrifying.
Oh.
A lot of old Japanese folklore is like that. And this is actually referenced also in Inuyasha, if anyone's seen that older anime. This ghost balloon hovering next to a hospital where a kid is dying. And it's really sad.
Oh, God.
Right? Inuyasha, am I right? Anyhow. So it's the Zelda Anniversary too. It's 35 years old now. As of the 21st, the very first Legend of Zelda game came out in Japan.
The Link to the First.
Dangerous to go alone.
Did you play that game?
I did, but later. I came to it after having played a lot of other Zelda games.
So I was poor and I didn't have a console until way, way late. And that was the first game I played. It's weird because I went from the Legend of Zelda to the second one. I guess that was on that original system. The very next game I played was Ocarina of Time.
My very first experience was Ocarina of Time. I didn't really know anything about it till my friend brought it over, picked it up, and I just started walking around Kokiri Forest. And I'd rented games before, like Quest, and they were always really disappointing, like especially Quest, where they don't even let you move around the map. So I was just immediately captured by the feeling of being in this forest, walking around, talking to different characters, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get this game. So it's the very first game I ever bought with my own money. I had been saving allowances, all in singles.
So you bought the game in all singles?
Yes, I laid down my stack of, I think it was like 60, and I was like, one Ocarina of Time, please. I don't know if Nintendo likes Zelda games because it is the Zelda 35th anniversary, and the only thing that they're really doing for it is re-releasing Skyward Sword for the Switch.
Oh, the worst one.
Oh, yeah, the worst one, though.
I'm sure people will disagree. I know there's a lot of people that probably like Skyward Sword.
They're doing at least one thing that makes me think I might try to replay it. They're adding a control option that allows you to control the direction of the sword as you're swinging it, so you don't have to use the weird motion.
Oh my God, I think I might play it again.
Right?
I hated that. Like, you'd have to put your sword up in the air, and I try to get away with just going like this. But no, you gotta like actually lift your arm way, way, way up, and that's too much work for me.
50% of the problem with Skyward Sword was the motion controls, and the other, let's call it 40% of the problem is Fi. Something that they could do is remove Fi explaining rupees every time you get a rupee. There's a lot of good elements to Skyward Sword. Just a lot of things that are just really hard to play because of the badness.
My program's crashing.
I see the Pokeball. Oh, appropriate. Pokemon Day.
I think I want to do like, I don't know, like grassy or stones in the background.
Where do you get your ideas for your backgrounds?
Honestly, I don't know.
You're just like, I think it's a forest with some rocks.
Well, so I almost always do like a organic background, kind of just feeling it out. I thought this would be a little more nighttime-ish, but now it's just turning into this nonsensical color palette that I'm throwing together at this point.
You're pulling the purple in because the Drifloon's purple otherwise feels like it's out of place?
Just to balance it a little bit. Plus, I think it gives a little more interest. That's why I added that red in the bottom there just kind of randomly, because what I'm about to do is actually merge together and then do a tilt shift to push the background further away by just blurring it out a little bit. That way I don't have to add too much detail. I think I probably won't commit it here. I just want to see what it's going to look like.
Tilt shift.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they do for photos to make it look like toys?
Yeah, but I'm using it a little different. Like, instead of having the blur effect going in both directions, I just throttle one side and just use the one side only. I'm not sure about the background right now.
From where I'm looking at it, it looks a little busy.
That's why I'm not so sure about it. I mean, I know I'm going to blur out that back part and probably add a fog. You know what? I'm going to dupe it just because I need to know what it's going to look like without committing.
You can drag a layer to an icon and it does the thing that you want it to do?
Yep. It's the dumb way that I do it.
That's amazing. So you're doing another tilt shift?
I'm doing the first one. The other one was an experiment that I didn't commit. Let me try something really fast.
Okay.
The trees feel alone.
Relatable. I guess walk us through the process that you're going through. Tell our YouTube audience why the background keeps changing.
I'm changing it now just because these two trees that are in the front seem like a gate, and I kind of want to infer a little more perspective by faking it like this, essentially. So what I'm doing is I'm adding like some lines that they're not necessarily straight up and down, but I'm going to like actually tilt them just a bit to kind of look like it's like the viewing angle's a little on the low side. And I'm going to just very, very lightly texture them just so that they're not literally just sticks back there. And then these are going to get blurred really hard.
And this is to make it seem like it's more of a forest.
Yeah, just so that there's more depth rolling backwards, I guess. But I think it's not doing what I want because I added this fog. I'm wondering if it's just these trees in the front that really piss me off. Let's take these and actually push them further into the background. Like they're standing out in front of them. And then I think what I want to do is take the entirety of the background and then knock it down in one step in value.
And now you're adding stars?
Yeah. So one of the things I haven't done is create a halo around the characters, which is one of those things I do towards the end of a drawing. Generally, I'll take a color that's kind of the highlight, and then go to an overlay layer, and then just kind of like add this faint halo that goes around both of them, and that makes them pop off the background just a little bit more. So I'll just kind of loosely put it in just so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
I think I like this a little bit better. The trees a little bit further back.
One of the things that we get in the Discord server a lot is, what can I do to improve this? This is something that I have struggled with myself, is like, how do I turn this drawing I've made into something that has depth and a placement in an environment? And one of the things I've learned the most from watching you do this kind of background and just this kind of finishing work is that you're going in and pulling in highlights, dropping shadows, using a lot of different blending modes just to try to pull things together, experiment with different things. So it's advice that I can also impart is like, hey, experiment with different blending modes, drop some airbrush black down on stuff and try overlay blend mode or those kinds of things.
Faking it with some fog. I kind of want to weave this fog in and out between the trees here.
I like how what you're doing is applying like a heavy thing and then switching to eraser to pull out the bottom.
Yeah, it's because I only want the top texture. I don't want the bottom texture.
So this is one of your new grass brushes?
Yeah, this is my newer grass brush now. I'm still getting used to these ones. I think the tilt is too harsh on them.
Wait, like the fact that they're radiating out?
There's a jitter that as you use them, they like jitter back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Like tilt-wise.
Sable the Wolf says the first grass tutorial is how they found the community.
That's the tutorial we're about to redo.
Eric, you were just saying that for some reason that one is really popular?
Yeah, that's actually our most popular tutorial.
I think you've really pulled the background together here. The fog effect and what you did with the trees there. It really works there. Good job.
Thanks, Josh.
I approve. Pokemon Day would be proud.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Backseat Drawing. We'll see you on the next video.
So I don't say anything else, do I?
Smell you later. Oh my God, Josh.
Clean take. Smell you later.
That's not gonna work.
Hold on. Smell you later.
Smell you later.
Smell you later. Thanks for watching this episode of Backseat Drawing. Smell you laters. Later, skaters.
See you in the next video.
See you in the next one.
Stupid.
One of these takes is gonna be
I'm gonna
perfect.
stop my audio.